You know, I'm not the kind of person that likes to be a little negative Nancy, one who's always starting off on the wrong foot, but the Switch's 2020 lineup is looking a little thin. We've heard that Bravely Default 2 and No More Heroes 3 is supposedly coming out this year, but what's up with the rest of the high-profile titles? Let's take a look at this here a little bit further. Quit worrying about the future. Play the games you have. Play the games I have? I'm Zian from Nintendolife, and today we're going to be taking a look at 13 games releasing on the Nintendo Switch in the month of August. And we're honestly pretty surprised by the varied amount of games that are coming to the system. So without further ado, let's take a look at the list. Our list starts out on August 6th with an Olympic-style party game that sounds like it's basically designed by aliens. It's called Drink More Glurp. Up to 20 players can get together and compete on the track in semi-Olympic themed events. You each play as strange, humanish creatures that can use their long arms to run and can also roll around on their bodies to perform whatever task you're given. What gives Drink More Glurp a unique spin is that randomly throughout the events, sponsors will chime in and completely change up the event by giving the contenders laser arms, handcuffing their arms together, or even just giving them all bird wings. It's extremely wacky for that alone and looks really promising. If you're into party games like Gang Beast and Human Fall Flat, this might be one to keep your big ol' eyes on. Imagine the top-down gameplay of The Legend of Zelda, but your only weapon is a boomerang, you're thrown into an area to duke it out with your friends, and you're also a cute little piece of food. That's what you'll get when Boomerang Fu launches on Switch on August 13th. What I find most appealing about this game is its simplicity. It looks extremely easy to pick up, but with a number of different power-ups like bomb boomerangs and the ability to disguise yourself on one of the many different arenas. I could see my friends and I getting stuck on this game for many, many late nights. There are tons of customization options that should keep things varied, and you could even toss in AI bots if you don't have enough players to fill the room. And come on, who doesn't want to play as a milk box wielding a boomerang? The classic point-and-click adventure series, Monkey Island, may not be available on Switch, but a new series is joining the library that is looking to cater to those particular fans. Darkestville Castle. In this adventure, you play as a demon named Sid, who's been pulling pranks and wreaking havoc on the denizens of Darkestville. But now, the city is rebelling against him and has hired a bunch of baddies to take him down. The game looks to be full of brain teasers and is potentially packed to the brim with humor that reminds me a lot of your typical Adult Swim series. And might I add that the dialogue is fully voiced as well. Now the Switch and its touchscreen is no stranger to point and clicks, but we can always use more solid adventures, and this one looks like one you should keep your sights on if you're in need of a laugh. Also crawling its way onto the Switch on the 18th is My Universe, My Baby. Nope, I'm not doing it. I can't do it. I may have one of these, but there's no way I can build any sort of hype for this game. If you have kids and they desire this game, please explain to me why that is. Why do they want this? Swinging onto digital shelves on the 21st is the first true golfing simulator for Switch, PGA TOUR 2K21. As far as we know, the Switch release will boost all of the same features as the other versions. A full career mode, character creator, and local and online multiplayer. But the Switch version will be missing out on the course builder, unfortunately. That'll probably be a deal breaker for some, but unless you're into something a bit more wacky like What the Golf or Golf Story, you really don't have many other options on Switch yet. Originally, EA Sports handled the officially licensed golf sims, but recently 2K managed to get their hands on the PGA brand and are now the ones in charge. And we're honestly glad to hear that they aren't neglecting the Switch like EA sort of has. It's also worth mentioning that the digital version drops on August 21st, where the physical cartridge release arrives September 25th. So if you're looking to pick this up early, you'll need to head over to the eShop instead. Back from the past and arriving on the Switch on the 21st is Samurai Jack Battle Through Time. This animated hack-and-slash adventure follows Jack through an alternate version of the show's series finale that will actually still be canon. So if you're one of the many who was apparently a bit put off from the way things went down, you might be excited to hear things could shake out a little different for Jack. The game is set to send Jack back through numerous points in his long-running history that fans of the series are sure to find familiar, and he'll encounter a number of enemies and allies along the way as well. Nearly the entire cast of the original series are reprising their roles. The game's story is handled by Derek Bachman and the series creator Gendy Tartakovsky, and is being developed by a mix of staff that previously worked on the 3D Ninja Gaiden games. Fans should have high hopes for this new adventure with Samurai Jack, as it seems to be in the best hands possible. Launching on the 25th could be one of the most intriguing new IP the Switch has received in a long time. We're of course talking about No Straight Roads, a music-based action-adventure game that tells the tale of an indie rock band who's set out to take down a group of corrupt EDM overlords. The gameplay manages to combine music and rhythm with hack-and-slash combat without requiring you to have any sort of beat yourself. The story reminds me a bit of a mashup of Kill la Kill and Scott Pilgrim with its larger-than-life bosses and punk attitude. And what's even better is the full game can be played through with a buddy if you'd prefer. This game looks extremely ambitious, but it checks all the boxes to be an instant classic if they play their cards right. And if you investigate only one game on this list, this would be my personal recommendation. I still haven't played it yet, so I can't really say for sure, but it's the one I'm the most excited about. Go find parts of the OST online, go watch a trailer, and just see what the hype is all about. Put away your GBAs and link cables because all you need to play multiplayer with this next title is a copy of the game and a few Switches. Arriving on August 27th after quite the wait is Final Fantasy Crystal Chronicles Remastered Edition. This love it or hate it RPG from the days of the GameCube is being faithfully remade with online crossplay, new dungeons, and revitalized visuals. I personally didn't ever get very far into this title back in the day, as the game definitely shines when played in co-op mode, and I only had one GBA and one link cable, and you needed one for each person playing. So I'm really looking forward to spending some time with this new version. Just throwing this out there though, if Alex and I play online, there's no way he's gonna make me the bucket boy. Making its way to the West for the very first time on the 27th is the very first anti-RPG, Moon. Nearly every RPG involves battles, right? Battles in which you slaughter hundreds of potentially innocent monsters who are just going about their day, all for that sweet, savory EXP. But in Moon, you play as a boy who's been sucked into the world of a video game and must right the wrongs of the heroic main character who's killing everything in his righteous path to glory. You're tasked with reuniting the souls of monsters he defeats with their bodies, which grant you love points, which then allows you to learn more about the vast cast of characters that inhabit the world. And it really seems that the story is the driving point of the game. Moon was originally released exclusively in Japan on the PlayStation in 1997, and it's awesome to see that the original developers are still making games and are finally bringing this to the West. If you're a fan of the wacky yet simultaneously deep worlds of games like Undertale and Earthbound, you might not want to sleep on this one. Sports anime is one of those things you shouldn't knock till you try. Most anime fans have their favorite, from the likes of Yowamushi Pedal, the cycling anime, Free, the swimming anime, or Haikyuu, the volleyball anime. Nearly every sport has one, and football, or soccer, is no stranger to anime either. And on August 28th, the series is getting its first worldwide game release with Captain Tsubasa: Rise of New Champions. Take the high energy chaos of something like Dragon Ball and mash it up with soccer, and that's exactly what you can expect here. Strangers to the Captain Tsubasa series don't need to worry about being left behind, as this game is based on the brand new reboot of the series, and the game features a full-on story mode to get you up to speed as well. If you're one of the many still lamenting the loss of the Super Mario Strikers series, this may be the game to fill that void. And here I thought Bandai Namco was bringing this next game to Switch, but actually, it was Dio. Arriving on Switch on the 28th is another game hailing from the realm of anime and manga, Jump Force Deluxe Edition. This 3v3 3D fighter features 50 characters from the Shonen Jump series umbrella, like Dragon Ball Z, My Hero Academia, Yu-Gi-Oh!, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Bleach, One Piece, Naruto, and many more. The game also features a new Switch-exclusive offline multiplayer mode that allows up to 6 players to play together on one system. It also packs in the entire first DLC character pack. Now, this 3D fighter is a port from the PS4 and Xbox One, and while we don't get the best look at the combat in the trailer we've seen, some of the cutscenes are looking a little rough in the frame rate department. But you know, I appreciate Bandai Namco's honesty in this case. The original was fairly impressive graphically, so we imagine this must need to take quite a hit to work on Switch. But we're always optimistic until we can get our hands on the final game. You know, we don't get monster collecting Pokemon clones as often as we used to, like we did back in the day. We had Digimon, Monster Rancher, even Dragon Quest had its own with Dragon Quest Monsters. And now on the 28th, we're gonna have a new one called Nexomon Extinction, and it looks quality. The game features over 300 Nexomon to capture, or rather trap and tame, which sounds oddly worse than capture, but really, in the world of monster collecting, it basically means the same thing, I guess. I really appreciate how the game is sort of going back to the roots of the original Pokemon games, whereas the newer mainline Pokemon series has strayed a bit from the formula. And in this game, you actually get to choose from 9 different starter types of Nexomon. I almost said Pokemon. And some of them are so cute. I can't handle it. It's almost too many options. And finally, capping out our list and also launching on the 28th is a brand new action-adventure title, Windbound. Some of you may think this looks quite a lot like Breath of the Wild, and you're not wrong. Between the scavenging, combat, art style, paragliding, and even music, there are a lot of similarities. But what separates it is its emphasis on sailing the open seas to explore uncharted islands. You're able to use the resources you find on the many islands to customize and upgrade your raft in many ways. If you're one of the many that are still chomping at the bit for Breath of the Wild 2, this may help tide you over until then. And there you have it, 13 games coming to the Nintendo Switch in the month of August. Feel free to let us know in the comments down below which of these games you're most excited to get your hands on. And also let us know if you think there's any games that we overlooked that we should have put on this list. I'm personally most excited for No Straight Roads, as the bosses are super huge, larger than life, and it reminds me a lot of Scott Pilgrim, like I've said before. It's like if Scott Pilgrim was a 3D action beat 'em up. This would be it. While doing some research, I also learned that the character designer for Moon also worked on Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, and that one strange kissing game for the PlayStation 2, Tulip. As always, if you enjoyed this video and you want to see more content like this, then why don't you go ahead and convert that subscribe button into an indie rocker by going ahead and clicking it. And then ring that notification bell to be notified whenever we release new videos. Thank you all so much for watching. I'm Zian from Nintendolife. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time. Needless to say, I am now out of printer ink.